Volleyball is loading the forward motion on those feet, front feet, which is going to put a lot of strain on lower back muscles, hamstrings, all of the interior hip muscles.
Hey, we're live again here at Carolina Structural Restoration Therapy in Greer. I've got a special guest here today. The last week of March, I'm bringing in Kristi Speaks from Southside Christian. She's an exercise physiologist. Kristi, why don't you tell us a little bit about what exercise physiologist is and how you got there, what brought you into that?
Okay, well, I started off just in undergrad school going into biology, thinking I liked to go into some kind of physical therapy, liked to work with people, had started out in personal training early on, and an opportunity came up at Furman University with their program in health and exercise science, and had started working with athletic teams and realizing that younger adolescents and pre-college, early 20s needed a lot more attention, and I really liked working with that age group because their bodies are ever evolving and changing through that time period, and they're constantly having to relearn things that they think they already know.
Right.
And I really enjoyed doing that, so I got my master's degree in exercise physiology and athletic training and started working with young kids.
Right, that is so awesome. And so when I got to meet Kristi, it was, we came across a complication with an athlete she dearly knows, and she brought her in, and she's a volleyball player. Kristi hangs around a lot of volleyball players. She's hanging around the travel ball teams, the club ball teams, the high school division teams, and she gets to see and monitor these kids all the way up from a young age through the different levels, all the way up to the Division One college athlete. Mm-hmm. And I think it's fascinating, I envy you because you get to see all this transition, this fundamental cross-crawl patterning, the hip issues. Mm-hmm. And one thing that she notices a lot is with kids that are having hip issues, mm-hmm. With volleyball players, is when they fall to the ground, going down and diving, if a kid has trouble getting up very quickly, mm-hmm. there's usually a sign of something wrong with the hip, either a growth spurt, the trochanter's not sitting upright in the hips, mm-hmm. so the iliums are flared, or something's happening with the trochanter. Can you explain to me how you kind of like have that aha moment? It's like, okay, we're going to hold back that kid and move things forward.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. A lot of volleyball is loading the forward motion on those feet, front feet, which is going to put a lot of strain on lower back muscles, hamstrings, all of the interior hip muscles. And a lot of the athletes that I'm working with, especially in their early ages, that 8-9-year-old child, they have extreme weaknesses in that area. They've never used these muscles in this way before. So if there's any kind of weaknesses or any kind of strange little abnormality, which we all have a little bit of, you're going to see even more of those weaknesses. And we try in our practices to increase their speed, their strength, their endurance with all those things. Some kids just can't quite get where they need to. Or if they learn it for a certain period at 9 years old, all of a sudden they have a huge growth spurt and they gain 4 inches, all of those mechanics change again. So how then do they adjust to that without causing an injury in there? We do see a lot of injuries associated with it.
Yeah, and I think one key point that she points out there is when she said the word, when certain kids don't quite reach their potential, don't quite get it, there's usually something musculoskeletal wise or in the nervous system that's not allowing that communication to take over. So it can be too much of a growth spurt or not enough hormones being to accommodate the the stretching of ligaments and connective tissue and so forth. So it's very fascinating for me and you to where we can see all that. It's like, aha, we need to take that kid and put him over in here for a little bit, and then they'll catch up very quickly.
Absolutely.
But they have to have that little monitoring. You can't just we're going to push through
And some kids are just genetically, their bodies are made and created in a way that they don't have that strength, that natural ability to grow on top of it. So you got to kind of take it a step back and rehab those things. That's kind of what we needed to do with Claire, which is why I brought her to Greg. You know, she was doing all of her strength work. She was in the gym doing volleyball, but she was still having a significant amount of pain in the hips and low back, and a lot of hamstring tightness. And we needed more.
Yeah, that's right. Now she's employed at Southside Christian. Something that's very exciting has happened out there. They've redone their strength and conditioning facility. Can you talk about that? It's got to be very exciting for them.
It's extremely exciting, and we're actually able to utilize that new strength and conditioning system for all of our athletes. And try to get them to a place where they're not going to have as much injuries, that they're going to be able to do their sport with a little bit more confidence. And we were able to outfit that. It's just been done in a little over 4 weeks now.
That's so awesome.
It's awesome. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. We're so excited.
All right. Well, there you have it. We'll see you next time. This time next week, we'll have another special guest. So have a great day. Talk to you later.